YouTube has continued to attack alternative media by demonetizing most of our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, please visit our Amazon store or our Patreon page. Links below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater. And, you know, Disney's Coco opened up last week to rave reviews. Everyone is like, it's a tearjerker. It's gonna tear your heart out in the way that only Disney can. And it got really good reviews. I haven't seen the movie yet myself, but I did see it back in 2014 when it was called The Book of Life. And it was produced by Guillermo del Toro. No, I kid. But that particular comparison has been made time and time again. And so as this particular movie was coming out, there was one thing attached to it that I figured was going to really help sell this product, and that would be the 21-minute long short film OLAF'S Frozen Adventure. Now, you heard that right, folks. You heard it right. 21 minutes. That's a little bit too long for a short film in front of a kid's movie. The best way I can describe that is, you ever go and watch Pokemon, the first movie, right? I saw it about a year ago when it was doing a one-night screening at a theater near me, and I forgot that they had like the Pokemon short film in front of the main movie, and the Pokemon short film in front of the main movie was essentially like a half hour. And then the movie itself was only around like an hour and 15 minutes. It was like a really short thing. But timing-wise, it worked together, right? Timing-wise, it totally worked together. This is totally different. Now, when Frozen premiered 4 years ago, that movie was a damn phenomenon. And I don't know about you, but personally, I hated it. And to this day, I can't watch it. I seriously can't watch it. Frozen is one of the worst things Disney's ever produced. It's a movie so mishmash of plot and themes that I don't understand how it got to be so popular. Oh, right, no, Let It Go. That did it. Yeah. At the drive-in movie theater I was working at the time, we showed that movie from its opening night, like its preview night, all the way through when it came out on home video in March. So from end of November to the beginning of March, I had to watch that movie. I've heard Let It Go so many times, I need therapy. Probably need therapy for other reasons too, but that's definitely one of the things that keeps me up at night sometimes. So that being said, the Frozen short film in front of Cinderella at the beginning of March in 2015, I actually thought was really good. So I was excited to see this OLAF'S Frozen Adventure. I was surprised that so many people hated it, and it wasn't like like they hated it because the thing was bad. It's because the damn thing was 21 minutes long. And so there's been so much pushback against this that I might actually be having an impact on Coco's numbers. Even though, I mean, look at Justice League. Justice League didn't win the weekend, but it did pretty damn well. Considering that Coco came out, and you know, it's one of those things where Disney is now being forced to remove it. Yeah, you heard that right. So over on Reddit, there are movies board. There was a thread that popped up earlier titled "PSA: Disney removing the Frozen short in front of Coco starting December 8th." Now, the reason why they want to do this is because if I recall correctly, the short film is attached to the movie, right? It's attached to the digital print. So back in the day when we would get, you know, when I would work on 35 millimeter, if there was anything attached and we had to remove it, which did happen occasionally, Spider-Man 1's original trailer showing the World Trade Center, we would just be able to go in and snip it, and then that would be that. So this is different. So basically what's happening here is they're running through the first 2 weeks of the film's release, the first 2 weeks of theaters running it, essentially. They'll do a midweek closeout, and then they're going to pull it and send them a new hard drive with a new file for the digital projectors to run. Now, here is what the rest of the post has to say. So guy says, so I work at a movie theater, and we got notice from Disney that starting as of next Friday, the Frozen short will be removed from the film. Here's what was sent to us. Please note that the run of OLAF'S Frozen Adventure playing before Coco will end after 12/7. Starting on Friday 12/8, no more Olaf shorts should be up on screen. With the extra 22 minutes of running time back, we would appreciate it if we could get in an extra show if possible. Thanks. And it's true. If you're eliminating 22 minutes right? And they, on average, show 5 screenings a day of the movie. So if you eliminate 22 minutes, that is eliminating an hour's worth of possible runtimes, which means they can do, I would say, probably 2 matinees, an evening and a late night show. So you would be able to get an extra showtime there. Now, is that going to translate to extra money? I have no idea. The damage in this particular case has already been done. Now, Disney at this point is probably sitting there and going, what happened? What possibly happened? Frozen, one of the biggest movies ever. We got Frozen 2 coming down the pipeline for, I want to say, 2019. And, what is this going to mean for that? I can't tell you what this is going to do. I can't tell you how Disney is going to respond to this. But if they're pulling the short film, you can be damn sure they are going to reassess Frozen 2. Now, Frozen 2 is probably already in development, so a lot of things are not going to be able to be changed going forward. But they are clearly going to be looking at the length of the movie and also how much time Olaf is on screen. Now, if you recall, in the first Frozen, Olaf doesn't even appear in the movie until after Let It Go. Now, Let It Go takes place, like 30 some odd minutes into the movie, 30, 40 minutes somewhere in the film. Again, I watched this thing a lot. I think it was around 43 minutes into the movie or maybe I'm a little bit sooner, but maybe 30 to 40 some odd minutes in the movie is when Olaf appears. And then Olaf, if you recall, go back to the original trailers for Frozen. I would say the second trailer for Frozen, not the teaser, but the first full trailer, and maybe even the second one. Almost all of Olaf's scenes are in that trailer, right? Almost all, with the exception of his one song. They're all in those trailers. So when you go see the movie, you've seen every little bit of thing Olaf is going to be in. And if you go and you watch the first Frozen short film, Olaf is not the main character. Anna and Elsa doing the whole birthday thing, Anna being sick and Elsa trying to, wow her and everything. But Olaf, again, is a bit player with Hans and Kristoff in the background. So he's not feature film worthy. Now, here's the thing, is Olaf did sell lots of merchandise, which is one of the reasons why we're getting Frozen 2, a film franchise that doesn't need to be a franchise. Let's be fair here. The story itself is a one-off. The characters are not really that interesting. The movie did look good, animation-wise, but otherwise it wasn't as good as people made it out to be. It's one of those ones in hindsight, you're like, oh, yeah, that could have been better. But that being said, merchandising is clearly the reason here, clearly the reason why things are going good for Olaf. Now, which tells me that Olaf's Frozen Adventure was kind of a prelude into Frozen 2, which basically means Olaf is going to become a central character. If I'm going to put it in a blunt perspective, think Cars 2, where we switched away from Lightning McQueen and went to Mater as the main character in what could only be described as a spoof film, a movie that many Pixar fans out there want to forget. It just did not gel well with people at all. So that's one of the reasons why Cars 3 went back to Lightning McQueen and went darker and more serious, because that was a tone they wanted to play up. So if Olaf is going to be the primary protagonist, if you will, the main character of Frozen 2, this particular disaster with his short film it might actually have an impact on parts of Frozen 2. Now, again, this is pure speculation. I'm merely just talking about the situation. So I could be wrong, and it's entirely possible that I will be wrong. But I do think that this is going to have some internal ripples at Disney because they're pulling it due to fear of losing money. Hence why they added in that little quip there. Hey, if you're going to pull off this 22-minute short film, can you add an extra screening time in there? Because this movie's not doing as well as we need it to. Never mind the fact that just this year alone, Thor Ragnarok put Disney over the $5 billion mark. They're doing fine, but this is going to have long-lasting repercussions with the Frozen franchise. And hey, listen, if it takes it down a notch, if it causes it to go down like the Hindenburg, you won't hear a peep out of me saying, no, please, the horror. You won't hear that at all. You'll hear, oh, good, can they move on to bringing around more Wreck-It Ralph, because that was a far better franchise and a far better film, more Big Hero 6. Those are the movies that people want to see more of. No, none of this Frozen crap. Let it go, Disney. Let it go. But anyway, what do you guys think about this? I know I went on a tirade against Frozen. If you happen to be a Frozen fan, I'm totally okay with the dislikes and negative comments. It's okay with me. Trust me, I've sat through this movie more than you have with your children. I have anger. But I do want to know your guys' thoughts. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video, subscribe to the channel, check back often for movie news and commentary from me. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a fantastic day, and peace out.